This is a good one. I mean, this is a good day. Have to be very careful about the time. I think I want to start it by saying that Elon Musk the other day said he said that he wasn't perverted enough to be on CNN. That was interesting. And then another thing, he said that a joke that doesn't get to some essential truth just isn't that funny. That's amazing. I did not know until very recently that he is an incredibly good conversationalist. When I encountered him early on, he was awkward and I don't know, and I didn't listen to him. So I know, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, obviously, I mean, he's on a dimension that I think that almost no normal person could even touch. Like, it's so advanced you don't even know what it is. Like, don't have a clue. But he was nervous and stuttering. He stutters quite a bit, and I just didn't feel like listening to him again. Okay, so that's what he said recently. If a joke doesn't get to some essential truth, it just isn't all that funny. So here's one that I think gets to some essential truth. What did the doctor say to his patient? Take 2 fentanyl and call me in the morning. The essential truth that gets to is a lot of this, these opioid deaths that we're seeing in addiction came straight from doctors. Yeah, these are pretty deep jokes. Okay, so I wrote another thing. I just thought this was funny, but it's not really a joke, is it? Jokes should be educational. So that's a joke in the sense that, people don't say that. Something unexpected is people respond to things a little bit funny. It's not funny. But it's like, why not? They could be, they could not be. But I like the ones that are that have something to them and are educational. And if they're not that funny, I can live with it. Okay, so here's this joke. Dear God, it would be great if Justin Trudeau, having turned 50 in 2021, decided to quit politics. Why? The answer is Socrates. So is your joke educational or is it educated? Because if a person's not pretty well educated, in a certain sense, they wouldn't get the joke. And I think a lot of people that you'd call educated wouldn't get the joke. But people with a background in the classics would get it. And here's what's funny about it. Socrates believed that you shouldn't be allowed to enter politics until you're 50. So if Socrates says that you should not be able to begin a life in politics until you're 50, and Justin Trudeau quits when he's 50, I'll love that forever. Okay, so my book is going to be called Illegal Jokes. There's sort of a subheading. There are jokes that are not all that funny and might not even be jokes and probably aren't illegal. And it's just some kind of weird thing like that. So this isn't a joke. Where there is love, a potato is easy to have. Halve, so to cut in half. If you didn't love somebody, you wouldn't share your potato. And that is Irish folk wisdom. This one's not that brilliant. All the world's a stage and none of us is well rehearsed. That's okay. Do I really want to get into this right away? So the problem is that I do this and then I put it on here and then the new jokes just go on top of each other. And so essentially this would never be done because Okay. This is so not funny. It's really... this is not funny. How do you know the wokies are going after the kiddies? My answer today is we look at their educational materials, especially lyrics. And as an example, I provide Sex Junk with Bill Nye. This was educational material for kids. It's the corniest, most gack-worthy thing ever committed to film. Absolutely gross. Sex Junk with Bill Nye. Oh my God. And there are people online saying, yes, while the dancing and the singing were delightful and it had wonderful graphics, it ultimately failed as a social commentary. Like they took it seriously. So they took this seriously. This is education for kids. This world of ours is full of choices, but must I choose between John or Joyce? Okay, so you're so liberated, you can choose if you want between John or Joyce, but you would like to have something in the middle. Okay. Okay. Are my opinions only hard or moist? My vagina has its own voice, not vocal cords, a metaphorical voice. Okay, now that is funny. She just explained to us that when she said her vagina had a voice, she didn't really mean literally that it had vocal cords. And then she says, sometimes I do a voice for my vagina. Please don't tell me I'm the only one who does that. Well, I don't do that. Okay, now we get into the chorus. Because my sex junk is so much more than either or. Yeah, so your sex junk, I guess, is your vagina or your whatever, your desire, I guess, is rolled into your sex junk. Junk is genitalia. Anyway, it's so much more than either or. So again, she's saying she wants something in the middle between men and women. Power bottom or a top off, versatile love may have some butt stuff. I understand the butt stuff. Power bottom or a top off, I don't even know. Versatile love may have some butt stuff. Perform for children. Its evolution ain't nothing new. There's nothing taboo about a sex stew. Just add salt or Gerard Depardieu, French treasure. Okay, I guess this is another kind of a chorus. Oh no, I guess so the chorus would go in here. Cause my sex junk is so much more than either or. Sorry about how irritating I sound. And then she says, if they're alive, I'll date them. Channing or Jenna Tatum. Well, we know that you would date a man or a woman. That's been the assumption. Your point is that you would want something in between them, so it's redundant. I'm down for anything. Don't box in my box. Don't box in my box. Give someone new a handy, then give yourself props. Okay, I gotta say, I'd like to meet more women like you. That would be fantastic. Okay, and this is sung by a dorky interlocutor. Oh, you think you're so smart. Did you learn gay in college? Chill with all of that while I drop some knowledge. Sexuality is a spectrum. Everyone is in on it. Even you might like it if you sit up on it. Okay, I guess that's enough. I mean, really, what are you doing? How many? 9 minutes and 40 seconds, and I only got through 3 jokes. Here's a quote from Cenk Uygur, the Young Turks. I saw this, so he said this. I would legalize bestiality, but only in instances where you are pleasuring the animal. What is the opposite of funny? Not funny. I think I should do this every time. Nothing in the news is true, and there's nothing new about the truth. I learned that from a guy that is a million miles right of me. He scares the living shit out of me. I wish I never met him. I wish that I didn't have to see him occasionally. I want to be off his radar. But he did give me that. There's nothing new. Nothing in the news is true. And there's nothing new about the truth. Wow. So the question there is, do you put capital on truth? I won't, because that would have religious connotations. I wouldn't trust a liberal to walk my dog. Why not? It would come back with its balls cut off. Okay, so this is not a funny joke at all. Why won't governments acknowledge that half the population has natural immunity to the COVID vaccines? Answer is no profit in it for them or Big Pharma. That's not funny. This is a good one. What is the difference between one kind of alcohol and another? They all make you sick. Okay. So this is just a true story. So book is called Illegal Jokes, and they're not all jokes. They're not all funny. Whatever. So this actually happened. Sometimes I said this to my wife this morning, sometimes I feel that my speaking skills are deteriorating because I do not talk enough. So after about 30 seconds of uncontrolled and uncontrollable laughter, my wife says, "Are you kidding? You have everything to say about everything." And what's funny about that is I made her laugh like hysterically. If people heard, I don't know what they would think. They would just think she's insane. But this is so good, eh? I don't get a chance to... I really don't want to talk about myself, but what she says, and I think a lot of people could probably back this up, is that I talk more than any human being that's ever existed in their experience. And so I go, well, hang on, you grew up with... you're a teenage Chinese girl. I don't believe that you didn't meet people who talk a million times more than I do. And she said, I'm absolutely serious. Nobody that I've ever met has ever come even close. So, okay, you know something? Sometimes the traffic light never turns green. For example, when there is no traffic light, then it definitely never turns green, no matter how long you stand there. I stand for an embarrassingly long time waiting for a green light to change when there's no traffic light at the same spot. This is kind of a traffic light up and down the street, a little ways off. I guess that could count as sort of a traffic light, but not really, because it's just a crosswalk. You can cross it anytime you want. And I don't look at the other traffic. I can stand there and wait for the traffic light to cross and not remember that I stood there waiting for the light to change a week ago. War is over if you want it. That's John Lennon. COVID is over whether you want it or not. That's from Anonymous. And so if you look up Sex Junk, there's another song called Sex Junk. Oh my good God. All right. Okay. So it's my hump, my hump, my hump, my hump, my hump, my hump, my lovely lady lumps, my lovely lady lumps, my lovely lady lumps, in the back and in the front, my loving got you. She's got me spending all your money on me and spending time on me. She's got me spending... Okay, so that sort of deranged stuff is really fun if it goes with the right music and the right kind of dancing around. But essentially what it's doing is it's glorifying prostitution.